Hey everybody, it is Jared Johns and I am live. I am live at like 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. It's like really one of those notifications you get because somebody is up, can't sleep at night, and they're just flipping and going, swiping right. Left is the bad, right, yeah, and they're matching with you, and then you get the notification. Thankfully, I have my phone silenced, otherwise, I'd wake up and that's not good. So, yeah. So I keep my phone silenced, not because of that, because I just don't like noises. Keep my phone silenced like 90% of the time. Um, but I want to talk about my experience being on Tinder here in Orlando. It sucks. Overall, it sucks. I mean, it's good because I get to talk to people. I do get to sometimes talk to great people through Tinder and other apps, but um, it sucks for a lot of different reasons. One of the main reasons is that you're in Orlando and you live here, and people travel from all over the world to come and visit Orlando. And while they're here, they get on Tinder and they swipe right on people that they think are attractive. Well, after they swipe right, then you either talk to them or you don't, or they're on their way out very quickly, and you go to talk to them after a couple of days if you've been busy or whatever, um, and they're 5,000 miles away, or they're 500 miles away, or there's some just extended distance away because they swiped right on you while they were here in Orlando going to Disney World or Universal or whatever it was they were here for. They swiped right, you matched, and then now they're forever away. And I can't personally do like a long distance relationship. I don't want that. I can't. I don't see myself making that work. So that's frustrating. Then just Tinder in general is frustrating because you get on there and you match with somebody based off of physical attraction, which is great, which is the first step of anytime you're attracted to somebody or you're meeting somebody, is usually for a lot of people, I won't say most people, for a lot of people it is that physical attraction. So you match with the physical attraction, think that they're cute, whatever. Oh my god, they're so adorable. I could see marrying them, blah blah blah. And then so you off of physical. That's just off physical. And then so you match. Then you're like, So if you match with them right whenever you swipe, like they've already like said, "Oh yeah, he's hot," whatever, then you I will hold back. I won't like message them right away because I don't want to seem like I don't want to seem desperate. So what I will do is actually be like, I'll message them later. I won't message them right now because I just matched with them. It's gonna seem like I'm really super desperate if I send them a message saying hi like right away, like, oh my god, I got to get somebody now. And so I will be like, I'm gonna message them later, and I'll continue on. If they match with you later, like after you've already swiped right on them, then it's kind of like it comes up on your screen or whatever, and like I'll go and check it and see who it was and look at their pictures and stuff and read their profile. And again, I will be like, okay, they just now swiped right on me. They know that I'm getting a notification for it. I don't want it to come off like I'm just sitting here like waiting for that notification to come through so that I can like message them like right away, or that so like I'm just waiting for anybody to match with me. Oh my god, someone matched with me, gotta message them. Um, so again, I will be like, okay, I'm gonna hold off on this and then I'll message them later. This is the bad part of Tinder because then I never go back in there, and I will sometimes. I hardly ever go back in there unless I'm bored and message people. Um, yeah, I'm horrible with this. And sometimes thankfully, Simon says, hi. Hi, Simon. How are you? Sometimes, thankfully, they will message me, and it kind of takes off that pressure of like being seeming desperate or seeming um, like you're just ready to pounce. Um, and so if they message me, then again, I'm kind of like, well, I don't want them to think that I'm like just sitting here waiting for them to message me. So I am not going to respond. I'm going to leave it there for a little bit and then I'll write them back. And sometimes, like, that's more likely for me to write back than the others. And then I'll write them back later or whatever and be like, hey, how are you? Usually I'll give it like 5 or 10 minutes and then get on that and start talking. Um, and then so then once you start talking, you have to figure out, like I said before, if they're local or if they are just visiting Orlando to go to Disney World or whatever. And even then, you can have friendly, like if they're just visiting, you can have friendly chat or whatever. But there's like really not much potential for anything more of coming of that. And I could see it maybe if you. I don't usually put in the effort to try to meet people who are traveling here. Sometimes I will, um, but with the thought of, oh well, we could be something together someday. Um, Not usually. But I guess it could happen like magically that, oh my God, we fall in love and in that couple of days that you're here, and then we continue on and do like a long distance thing and hope it works out. But it's highly unlikely. So usually I don't even really mess with it. I'll chat with the person and then we kind of go our own ways. Like we stay matched on Tinder and then we just go our own ways and don't talk anymore. Or we exchange numbers and talk for a little bit through exchanging numbers, and then usually that fades away too. Sometimes it doesn't. Like sometimes you're like have some kind of connection and things in common, and then you can talk and go from there. But a lot of times it just fades away. Um, so then there's that, and then there's just the normal like so if you start talking to them and they are from here, then you have to deal with usually a few different issues. Um, Sometimes they're in a relationship, they're in an open relationship, or they're in a relationship and they are like just looking and talking to people, which I think is really bad. But, um, or, so it's either that or they are like really afraid of committing to even like friendship or um, anything, and they just want like fun and sex, um, or this is a hard one for me, and I try to avoid it like the plague. Um, they are just so super desperate that like the second you meet them, it comes off like they are ready to be married. You are the one, and they don't even know you. Like they don't know shit about you. Like they haven't learned anything about you. They haven't gotten to know you, and they already want to date, and then they're probably already thinking about getting married and how many kids you're gonna have. And I'm just like, oh my god, what have I gotten myself into? And then I have to try to figure out how to remove myself from it, and sometimes end up having to ghost. But um, yeah, and then sometimes if you are really super lucky, you connect with somebody, and that gradually, like my goal is to connect with somebody and it not be like with this like mindset of relationship, um, or marriage, but instead be like, let's connect, let's be friends, and gradually work into like this dating thing, and then gradually work into like a relationship. But it just kind of just go slow and get there on its own without like either one of us having to pressure it or rush to something just so we have something. And I feel like that's a lot of people is that, and even myself included, have been there where want we just want somebody. We want a body to like be lying next to us, spending time with us, and it doesn't really even matter who, just somebody. And I think that that's settling, because you could be spending because that person could be somebody you're not really even connected to. You could be spending that time with somebody that you actually connect with, and could fall in love with and want to fully spend your time with, and not just be a body that's there with you. And so these are my dating frustrations, um, since getting kind of back into dating. It's stuff that I've always known was there, and stuff I've had to go through before, but I'm just to a point where I just want to, I don't know, I don't want to date really. I just want to meet people and connect and see where things go. And then, at least, at bare minimum, have like friendships that come out of it. Friendships would be amazing. And then once you're at that friendship level, I can have like all kinds of friends. And then once I'm at that friendship level, if I connect with somebody and want to spend a lot of time with them, I can do so, and it just be like a gradual process. So that's what my goal is to make connections. I don't have to have a label on it. I don't have to have this goal of marriage or this goal of even a relationship. I just want to connect with people that I want to spend time with, that I want to get to know. People that interest me enough to, well, guys that interest me enough to make me want to learn more about them and what they're passionate about in their life, and them want the same for me, want to learn about me, learn about my passions in my life, and then we just kind of, I've said it before, but we kind of become addicted to spending time with each other, and we become addicted to each other and wanting to get to know each other and have experiences, fun experiences in life together. But I think everything right now, it just makes it kind of complicated. The apps are supposed to help, but it just makes it more complicated. Like I have, since being back on Tinder, and this isn't to brag, I have 323 different matches. Of those 323, I have had conversations with maybe 50, and have made real connections with maybe like two. So that gets frustrating. It's like a lot of time being put into matching with people and then it not be anything, and it just not even be really even a match. Like other than, hey, we're attracted to each other. Yay. In a physical sense, attracted in a physical sense. But I'm to blame for that just as much because, like I said, I will get on there and I will match with somebody and then I hold off from writing them because I don't want to come off as desperate. And then I forget to go back in there, and then if it reaches a certain period of time and I haven't messaged them, I'm kind of like, I don't want them to think that I'm careless or that, so I just don't message at all. And then it just sits there. And I feel like that happens a lot with a lot of people on those apps, is that we're matching and then we don't want to come off as desperate. And then once it's taken so long, we don't want to come off as like careless or like, so we just don't worry about it. Plus I just don't have time to, like, if I were to message everybody on there and then them respond messages, I would be spending like all day, probably every day, messaging people on Tinder, and I just don't. No, thank you. So these are, like I said, my frustrations with dating and finding connections. I am actually, I'm actually probably more likely to connect with somebody, and this sounds really pathetic and maybe just really horrible. I am more likely to connect with somebody on Grindr because you you write somebody and it's like right in that moment, and it's not a whole bunch of like red tape to get to let's hang out. And then once we hang out, I mean, if it's not a goal of fun, of hooking up, then it is like you can actually like set that to where it's not hooking up, and between the two of you, and actually go and spend time together and get to know each other, make a friendship, and then move from there. And I've had a lot more success with that from Grindr than what I've had from Tinder. Tinder, it's hardly ever even like meet up with somebody. It just doesn't happen. Or if like I said, if you match with somebody, then they live forever away, so it just doesn't work. Um, Especially in a place like Orlando, because you have these people from all over the world coming in, and like, great, I got a pen pal, yay. So, and then I get those messages that pop up, like the title of this video, the congratulations, you have a new match. So often it's just like, it's kind of almost annoying. Um, I don't know. I may end up deleting Tinder. But what it is good for is, I guess, advertising my YouTube. Because I do mention my YouTube in there so that people can actually, before ever even messaging me, so they don't have to wonder about my personality or what is this guy like. They can actually go, I have my YouTube link in there, and they can go to YouTube and actually see my videos and actually kind of get to know who I am. So maybe that takes some of the intimidation away. Also, it kind of like weeds people out to like, so they can see if they're interested in me or not before ever even talking to me, and then not even worry about it if they're not. So I guess that's a good thing. Yeah. Okay. I think that's enough of my rant about Tinder and the frustrations of Tinder and dating. I just spent some time thinking about. I'm so tired. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I just spent time thinking about someone liked. Thank you so much. I hope everybody likes. If you like it, please do like. Um, I am going to go to bed. If you're watching this video live, thank you for joining. If you are watching this video posted later, thank you for watching. Leave comments about your experiences dating. I would love to hear like what works for you, what doesn't work for you, if Tinder's working for you, how is it working for you. And I am going to go to bed now. Oh, and subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love for you to be a part of our next live. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you later. Mwah. Good night.